Hi there again, this is Cal Jane, A2 Media. This screen capture, QuickTime video, will be on my double page spread, my magazine article. Like the previous video, the poster one, I will also include screenshots of the step-by-step process. This is just to talk through it, inspiration, rough ideas, where bits and bobs from in there got from. First off, in one of our earlier lessons, we had to study other articles, just so we could get a rough idea. We know the conventions, we know what they look like. I'll just quickly for it is actually the Radio Times. It's about the Winter Olympics, and you've got the picture on the right traditionally, and then the text, which is what I sort of use as inspiration. I use the traditional. You got the text on that side, the picture on that side. Then there's a pull quote there, just like there is there. I'll show you my rough drawing of it first. Again, don't laugh. It's as bad as the last one. Maybe even worse. This is my rough draft. So I've got big title there to draw the reader in, death is not the end, other boxes with info in, the article itself, you've got a pull quote over there, and the main picture of our model with a sort of nice border with flowers, just to go with the theme. Now I didn't actually go with this rough copy. Again, like the poster one, I changed it, although quite more dramatically this time. I used a different photographer. In fact, I decided not to do a character from the drama. I thought I'd be a bit different. As other groups I've seen and other people going with characters, I thought I'd go with the writer of the radio drama, so he could talk more in depth about themes, why he wrote stuff, make it more interesting on a different level. So, people who are interested in writing might think, oh, that's quite interesting, or, you can see in depth, you can see into his mind what he wanted to plan. It's just I thought it was an interesting way of portraying it. I also did it the other way around, so the picture's on that side and the text is on that side. Very much more like the rough copy I saw you earlier. Not the rough copy. The example I saw you earlier, sorry. So that's just my rough example. I'll show you actually my main thing finished, and then like the previous video, I'll talk you through the bits for it. It's just going to pop up now. There we go, that's InDesign. There we go, just loading. Just put it in overprint view so you can see it properly. Obviously we're live, so you can see the wheel of death there. Right, I'll talk through the process and how it was made. You notice the background is the same as the poster with a crayon effect. I used that again just so they go hand in hand with each other. So the poster and the article, they're meant to be related. It's the same drama. So obviously this makes them look the same. So what I did, I got the background from that, which is there. You can see it in the preview. That's the background I drew. That's actually a better picture of it than you saw in the poster video, because you can see the actual background itself. That's how it was made with all the brush strokes. So I took that. I just copied it twice, put one there on that side and one on the other side there, just to make the 2 pages. It just links them both together, and obviously I quite like the background, so I was going to use it again. Excuse me. I'll now before I talk about the graphics and the pictures and stuff, I'll talk about the actual article itself. Firstly, you've just got what's going on, essentially. Radio Times talks to award-winning writer Anthony Kubik about Last Gospel. I've put the important bits in red just to capture the reader's eye. So you've got the author, Anthony Kubik, the writer. People might be fans of his work. Obviously, he's fictional, but taking this as it's real. Obviously, people might be fans of his work, see his name and think, oh, I want to read this article. He's done that great book on such and such. And you've got Last Flowers to the Hospital, just to promote the name. And, you want it to be in people's heads so they tune in, so, they listen to it. And you've got the interview itself. I've got a better copy of that on the blog, just where you can read it more in full. I'll just get that for you. Bear with. There we are. That's the interview itself. Obviously, with my draft idea, as I've discussed, I was going to do Catherine Morgan, but I chose to go with a writer. I've just discussed that here in this side note, which isn't actually in the view. It's just part of my blog post. Now, for my interview itself, I listed out who it was by, David Stoker, just so it seems more professional. I did a little prelude, if you will, to the interview. So just the interviewer saying, it was hastily set up, what the writers achieved, very, very brief thing on the drama, touching tale of death and struggle to let go. Just very brief, just sort of a summary to start the interview, like a prelude, like I said. And then obviously you've got the interviewer's questions are in bold, so where did the ideas first flowers, how would you describe it? The theme of death as a writer. I made a more writer-orientated question, just to make it, how it is. He's interviewing a writer, so the questions would be more catered to that. Then you've got his answers there. I tried to make them as articulate and, as intelligent as possible, because, I wanted him to be he's a writer who's won awards, so, he'd be a flow of words, so I tried to make it as as good as I can. You know, give him some good answers. I did try to give word-on-word answers. I was trying to let my creativity go. I wanted, you know, proper good answers. You know, this is the thing he's passionate about. He's written it. So, you know, you want it to be as good as possible. We'll go back to my match clerk there. You can see it all added in. I italicked the answers. So, you know, his answers to the questions. Also, the prelude I italicked. Just, you know, it's a different speaker. So that bit, you know, it's sort of like a monologue by the interviewer. And then those bits are the answers to the question. And then I bolded the questions themselves. Just so you can separate who's saying what. So, you know, he's asking the question, he's answering the question, essentially. And that's just in a blank white box. Just so it's easy to read, straight there on the page. We'll go on to the other side of the page now, where the rest is happening now. Oh, just as a side note, you've got the page number there, 21, 22. Just because a magazine needs page numbers, doesn't it? Same way, there's the name of the art. There's the name of the magazine and what issue it is. The 27th to the 28th of March, that's when it was released. I think it's normally weekly radio time, so obviously next week will be the next magazine. Excuse me. On this one, at the very top, you've got, again, the name of the drama, because it's important. I believe it's important. I mean, it is, to, you know, get the name across your dramas often. I mean, it's in the interview. The name's dropped in the interview as often as possible, as well as the production company. You want to get the name out there, people's heads, that you want to think, oh, okay, Last Flowers, it's in their heads. They'll Google it when they get home. You know, it'll stick in their heads. When it's announced on the radio, like it's coming up, I go, oh, I heard about this in a magazine. I've heard about this on telly. They'll listen to it, give it a listen. You've also got the airtime, very important. People need to know when to tune in. So I've just put that in a simple, just a lined box at the top, just to underline it. Yeah, it's quite simple there. They will see it as they read the page. Monday the 1st of April, 10 PM, BBC Radio 4. Where it is, what time it is, what day. Simple. You've then got the main picture of the writer, which is the handsome photo of myself there, I might add. So obviously, I just took that photo just because it's the writer. You know, he wouldn't be in costume, it wouldn't be one of the characters. So I just took the photo of the writer there, just planked that in, just because people who read it want to see who the writer is. You know, you see a photo, you know, you can make judgments on people. You know, you put a name to a face, essentially. And then I outlined it with a black box just to make it stand out more, and it fits in with the text there, which I will talk about at the end. You've also got the pull quotes from the thing, which draw the reader in again. Obviously, they're in red, just like the author name and the title name there, just to, again, pull the reader's eyes. So they'll see that, they'll be like, oh, you know, it's intended to focus the listener to question death. So, you know, that's quite a big topic there, death, you know, and it wants to question it. So it's quite a big question. You know, it's quite a moral question there. So, yeah, that gets the reader interested. They want to go, oh, you know, that sounds quite interesting. I'll read the interview, you know, I'll listen to that drama. It's the same as that one. That just gives you an insight into the writer's mind. So more people who are fans of the writer or fans of writing will like that quite, you know. I've always found it fantastic, the power of words. People will relate to that, they'll agree with that, you know. Everyone knows the power of words. I mean, words invoke emotions, you know, there's music, there's writing, there's everything, you know, invokes emotions. And I'll talk about probably the longest bit it took me to do and the most technical is the text here. I'll show you where the text came from. It's not the basic text from InDesign or Word or on the computer. I got it from, again, that website, Dafont. I'll just show you that quickly. I did show it in the other video. You've got all ages. I just find it randomly. It looks bold. You know, it stands out. You know, it goes with the theme. I thought it was quite kick-ass, really. And, you know, you've just got it all there, all the stuff with it. That's the font. You can just download it. By clicking there, you can also download to the author. So it's that sort of thing. So I got that, again, from Dafont. A very, very handy resource. I've got to give a shout-out to that. So that's that. That's how they get the font. And basically, same with the picture. I put a black box on the background. And then just a text box. I'll move this now just to show you. I just got the text box, wrote in the one letter, dragged it, and then connected each letter like that. So it was quite a long process, but I believe it gives quite a good effect. You know, it looks quite, you know, it stands out, it looks quite punky, it's quite cool. Oh, it's quite cool. So it says an appointment with the good doctor. I mean, it's a pun on Last Flowers to Hospital. I mean, it's about hospital, obviously. And then you've got Dr. Hollywood, who's like the main, not antagonist, but he's the main plot device sort of thing. You know, he helps Nurse Catherine remember, he brings the plot forward. So an appointment with a good doctor is perhaps a play that some people might see Hollywood as a bad doctor, but also because it's set in a hospital, doctor, and, you know, doctor helps give birth, give life. So, you know, he's being a doctor by giving life to this radio drama. That's why I chose that. And that's my completed double page spread. I'm Carl Jane, A2 Media. Thank you.